All right, these are video notes for Lowe's 1890, customer David Brady. A couple things I want to take a look at. First of all, the ceiling height is an average of 84 to 84 1/4 inches tall. So just starting right here next to the actual door trim, from the door trim to the edge of that outlet is right at 19 inches. So there's plenty of room there to put the actual pantry between the two. Then if you look, there's also a switch plate. That switch plate is at 53.5 inches off the floor. So our 9-inch cabinet will fit above that, no problem. Also, take a look, there's these banded pieces. This is a modular home, so those banded pieces will have to be cut and trimmed out of the way. Go ahead and go over to the sink area here. As you see, the sink is centered of the two windows, which is normal, no problem. But as it is with most modular homes, the plumbing is way over to the left-hand side. The drain is like almost 2 foot to the left. So you've got your polybutylene pipes that come up for your hot and cold water right under the actual sink, but you've got this large cross-sectional piece that comes across. So there's a couple things we're going to have to do. We're going to have to get two base 24s and make a sink base 48 out of it. Or we're going to have to order a sink base 48 as an all-one piece cabinet. It'd be important to have a back in that, since all the stuff comes out of the floor. That would make the wall prettier, because right now you've got the wall showing through. The other thing to talk about as far as the plumbing connect, we'll cut that off just below the T there. When we go to put the new cabinets in, we'll actually have to bring that through. So the center panel of your actual 24-inch cabinet will be somewhere right in here to the left of the center of the sink. We'll end up having to scoop that so that the plumbing can come through, but it'll be two base 24s with voided top drawers that we can make a 48-inch sink base to fit that. Now, one more note about polybutylene pipes, the gray polybutylene. We can disconnect or whatever we need to do with those, but when it comes time to connect water to them, our insurance will not allow us to connect to polybutylene fittings. So the connection of the sink would not be available on the installation of the countertop. That's just an insurance policy that we have. So we make sure that you go over that with the customer. That is something we cannot connect to as far as the black ABS and the polybutylene fittings underneath the sink. Now, keep on going around the room. They had a corner angle range before. That's coming out. Of course, the linoleum runs under everything. You can see it in there inside that base. The linoleum is under everything. So when he tears all the cabinets out, we'll have no footprint on the floor to have to worry about. But one thing that I notice is right here where the old cabinets were on the ceiling, that space is 14 inches to the front of that notch. Our cabinets are only 12 inches deep. So that 2 inches gap right there, he's got a solution for that. And in fact, the materials that we cut away here, he might be able to use to piece back into those as far as to fix that. But he's got a plan for those. We went over that it was going to be deeper. And the new cabinets will be a little shallower. Now, the corner, we talked about doing a lazy Susan on the drawing, but in the field, we're looking at it and we're talking about how the void corner section might actually be a better choice for him, to be able to give him more space over here on this side, 9 more inches of cabinet and 9 more inches of cabinet beside of the actual range. Instead of the lazy Susan coming all the way up to against the side of the stove, then you'd have a 9-inch area there before the 27 by 27 corner. Now, the corner, if you look, is actually a voided space, so they're going to be adding sheetrock to this back wall. All of your measurements have been taken into consideration. Your sheetrock thicknesses have been accounted for. So the measurements I'm giving you are correct as far as thicknesses. But right now, the studs are on 2 foot and sometimes less than 2 foot centers. So what we've talked about doing today is actually taking and putting 2x6 blocking across the top, and then also 2x6 blocking across the bottom here at 54 inches so that we'd have something to attach the cabinets to. The cabinets have to be installed either on 16-inch studs or they have to be installed against solid blocking. One or the other is what's required for the cabinets to be installed. Now on the outside wall, this wall, for the sink wall, it already has 16 on the center 2x3s, which is plenty. They're actually 2-inch wide 2x3s. And because that is the center partition of the home, it already has 2x3s on 16. So that's no problem for the refrigerator side to mount. But this one area here is going to require some either more studs be added or some blocking to be added inside of that for us to attach our cabinets. Most of these interior walls in mobile homes are only 3/4 of an inch thick. In fact, this is something he added, and that is something he's already added. These interior walls are usually only 3/4 inch thick for weight. Now let's go back over here and look at the refrigerator area. You've got a 26-inch depth from the corner to the edge of that trim, so a 24-inch deep pantry will fit there, no problem. When I'm looking at receptacles, there's no receptacles anywhere here. The first one's way down here, middle run, so no problem. But we do have this upper cabinet. This upper cabinet right here is 14 inches deep. And someone has added another piece of molding to the front that's another 1.25 inches. So that's about 15.25 inches deep total. Our cabinets are only going to be 14, and he understands that that'll be something that he has to actually fill back in and touch up, just like on the other side of the room. Now here we had all this extra space beside the refrigerator. Those cabinet measurements that you have will work out just fine as far as coming across. The only thing is that we want to start our run on this end right here with about a 3/4 inch filler to the left of the pantry. Right now your pantry's against the wall, so we want to have a little bit of something so I can scribe if that wall is out of plumb. That'll also mean scribe molding for that. Come back over here on this end. Your refrigerator stands up against the end of the trim of the door. No problems there. And is there water for this, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's actually a receptacle back there. And there's a coil of copper that comes up through the floor. So that's your connection point actually for the other piece. All right, if you have any other questions for this, you can give me a call at 423-650-1051. The island is fine as far as length. Want to talk to the customer about the countertop choices for that island because of the amount of radiuses. The other cabinet had radiuses on the edges of the countertop, and so he would like to try to see that again. But you need to show him the edge board for laminate. Have a good day.